Spiritual power. Shalom. First and foremost, giving God praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing His truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. This lesson is going to be about spiritual power. Okay? Because in these last days, there's going to be certain men of the nation of Israel, which we know the true Israelites to be the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians, and them whose father's lineage on their father's side, it goes back to so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians. We know that there are particular people on this planet that's going to receive spiritual power, okay, 1/3 of them, and, basically through that spiritual power, order is going to be established on the earth, starting with, Yahweh Shai, who is going to be the main leader. Because Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, he's coming back to establish order on the earth. Okay? He's coming back to establish order. So, his elect men are going to have spiritual power. And a matter of fact, there's going to be some men that are of the elect that's going to receive spiritual power that's going to be, killing off these different militaries, because, when you look at some of the things that the so-called white man and his army got, you can clearly see how his elect men are going to need spiritual power in order to defend themselves. These people, they have guns that shoot bullets that can travel around corners and strike down their targets. How are you going to defend yourself against something like that if the Lord is not with you? So you're going to need some kind of spiritual power to be protected against that, It's going to get real bad out here, man. They got these different Terminator robots, which is going to go around, killing our people. It's going to be lions and tigers out here and wild, vicious animals, newly created beasts, monstrous apparitions. So the Lord's elect men, they're going to need spiritual power. Plus in Isaiah, the 4th chapter and the 1st verse, it tells you that 7 women shall take hold of one man. So how's that one man going to take care of all those women? You're going to need some kind of spiritual power, right? So that one man is going to take care of all those women through spiritual power. Plus, the Lord is going to be the one that's going to give that man the spiritual power. Okay, so in other words, the Lord's elect men are going to have spiritual power in these last days. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29. He, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength. Now, notice how it says no might. When you read the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, okay, it tells you under the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that we will have no might in our hand. Okay, the Lord said that we will have no might in our hands, and we shall only be oppressed and spoiled always. Okay, so we ain't got no might in our hands. Okay, so, and that also proves that this truth is not about trying to be some tough guy. because the Lord is not going to be giving spiritual power to some tough guy. He's looking for the man with a humble attitude, doing the right thing, doing the things that are pleasing in his eyes. That's why, like, looking at that one camp, that guy got arrested for the wrong reasons, man. You're not supposed to be trying to act like some tough guy. You're supposed to be doing the work of the Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. So, according to Isaiah 40, verse 29, the Lord's elect, they're not going to have any might in their hands. Not until the Lord gives them that power. Okay? So it says, He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength. Even the youths shall faint, and the weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. Okay? But they that wait upon the Lord, as it is written, wait ye upon the Lord, save the Lord, till the day that he rise up to the prey. But they that wait upon the Lord, which we know that the elect is going to wait on the Lord, like Yahweh Shai said in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, okay? But whosoever shall endure unto the very end, the same shall be saved. That's talking about the Lord's elect, because they're the only ones that's going to endure unto the very end and be saved. They're going to endure in this truth, doing the things that are pleasing to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. How are their strength going to be renewed? By Yahweh, the Most High, and His Son Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. Now, this is not talking about, wings are going to grow out of your back and you're going to be flying. This is talking about you're just going to have the ability to fly, period. With or without wings. So in other words, the Lord is going to give you the power to fly. Okay, how about that? Okay, because, well, like it tells you in 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, and the 71st verse on down, these martial law troops and these militarized policemen, and these different military martial law troops, they're going to be like madmen, sparing none. So they're just going to go around killing all kind of Israelites, okay? So it's going to get to a point to where the Lord is going to give his elect men spiritual power, Lord might give you spiritual power to fly up out there, man. So you're going to get up out there, you might be living in a apartment building, for an example, and you might be living on the 5th floor, So the Lord might give you the power to fly out that window, allowing you to escape from martial law troops trying to kick in your door and detain you. Okay? It says they shall run and not be weary, right? An example of that would be like when you play some of these video games, you can have a character run forever. They'll never get tired. Especially in some of these Marvel games. Well, that's how it's going to be with the Lord's elect. The Lord's going to give his elect men the power to be able to run, and you'll never get tired, man. You ain't going to be out of breath. You ain't going to be low on energy, okay? So you're going to run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint, okay? You're going to be able to walk for 50 miles if you wanted to. You're going to be able to walk for 50 miles, and you're not going to get tired. Okay, that's beautiful. Sorry, excuse me for one moment. The book of Psalm, chapter 18, verse 27. For thou, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, wilt save the afflicted people. Which goes to show you, ultimately, it is the Lord that delivers us out of our situations. And it's very important to understand that. It is Yahweh, the true name of the Most High, and his son Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. It is them who saves us out of our troubles. Okay? Okay? For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but wilt bring down high looks. Well, you saw an example of that when that one dude got arrested in that video for trying to act like some kind of tough guy against the police. Police showed his ass a thing or two by slapping handcuffs on him and putting him in the police car. For thou wilt light my candle, excuse me, the Lord my power wilt enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop. Okay, now you really got to think about this, because back then, men wore heavy armor. So I mean, you running through a troop as if your vehicle, that's spiritual power. Okay, sorry about that. So it says, for by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power have I leaped over a wall. Now this ain't talking about some wall that's the size of a small little dining table or something. We're talking about a wall that's like the height of a two-story building. Now imagine being able to jump that high with heavy armor on. Nowadays, people can't even jump higher with even 20 pounds on their legs. You can have 20 pounds on your legs and you wouldn't be able to jump high. Sorry about that. So I'm back now. The next scripture I'm going to go to, Jeremiah. No, I don't think it's 45, but okay. So give me a second here. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's see. Give me a second here. There we go. Okay, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 20. It says, okay, Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. Okay. Now, hold on. Let me just keep reading for a second. For with thee will I break in pieces nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So you got to have spiritual power in order to do that, because in the state we're in right now, do you really think we could break in pieces nations? Hell nah. Okay. Now, when it says nations, that's talking about there's at least almost 1 million people within one nation alone. So imagine other nations. So we're talking about nations here. Now, one nation could consist of over 500,000 people or a million. So you're going to need spiritual power in order to break in pieces nations, okay, as well as kingdoms. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. Now, the horse and his rider could be talking about, these militarized policemen. They like to drive around in tanks, MRAPs, warships, you know, warplanes. So you gotta have spiritual power in order to break in pieces those kind of vehicles, man. Okay, okay, meaning to destroy them. So martial law troop might be coming at you with a tank, and you might form up a ball of lightning with your hands and then throw it at them and make that tank explode on them. Okay, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. Okay, with thee I will also break in pieces man and woman, and with thee I will break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. Notice how it mentions women twice in this verse too, just like Ezekiel 9:4. Okay, so our people, as well as you heathens, 2/3 of our people, as well as you heathens, you gonna get it, man. The Lord's gonna give his elect man spiritual power to mess y'all people up. Okay, I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. Okay, you false Israelite groups out there, you gonna get it too, man. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. A husbandman will be a farmer, a planter, and his yoke of oxen. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. Okay, and I will render to Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea in their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Hey, Barakatah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so the next scripture I would like to get Isaiah. Oh yeah. There's another one I would like to get to, but let's get this one first. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, you know, that the enemy is talking about the 2/3 of our people, as well as the so-called white man and the other nations, because ultimately, the so-called white man and the heathen nations, such as the Arabs, which are the biblical Ishmaelites, the Africans, which are the biblical Hamites, the Elamites, which are the East Indians, the Japanese, which are the biblical Ammonites, the Chinese people, which are the biblical Moabites, the Hawaiians, which are the biblical Japhites. Okay, the so-called white people, which are the biblical Edomites. Okay, those people in the land of Israel today calling themselves Jewish, and they're not Jewish. They are the biblical Amalekites, which are descendants of Esau. Okay, and then you got our people, the Israelites, which our people are the Israelites, which are the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians. And them who fathers lineage on their father's side, it goes back to so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians. Excuse me. Okay, but 2/3 of our people, they're going to be destroyed. Okay, so when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the 2/3 of our people, the so-called white man and the heathen nations, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. Now, I always like to look up this word standard. Well, I mean, not always, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. It's always good to look up words. So let's look up the word standard here, okay? Because, you know, the Lord, martial law might be storming through your house, and the Most High might give you the power to turn invisible, He can give you the power to teleport, to fly, the Lord can make it to where you become a shadow on the ground. Anything is possible with the Lord, man. So the definition for standard here is nawas. Okay, that's nawas. And here it says to flee, escape. So the Lord is going to find a way for you to escape. Okay, it says to flee, to escape, to take flight. Check that out. To take flight, depart. Okay, disappear. Most I can make it to where you turn invisible. Cause these devils are gonna be having radars and shit. You know, these devils. They have radars. They have things that allows them to see you through brick walls and all kind of shit. So Lord might make it to where you disappear right off the grid. You know, Meaning Most High give you the power to turn invisible. It says to fly, to attack on horseback, to drive at, to take flight, to put to flight, to drive hastily, to cause to disappear, hide. Okay? Hide. Well, there you go. If you turn invisible, it means you're hiding. You're out of enemy sight. So the Lord's going to give you spiritual power to defend yourself against these martial law troops. So the Lord's going to lift up a standard against them in that day. Now let's go from there to. It'd probably just be quicker if I just type in the actual verse, but whatever. Okay. So this is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Check that out. These devils, they have weapons like Metal Storm 1000. They got guns that shoot lightning at you, plasma. They have plasma guns, plasma pistols. They got guns that make you disappear out your clothes, man. They hit you with a particular bullet and you literally disappear out your clothes. Okay? I mean, how you gonna defend yourself against those kind of weapons? They have guns that shoot explosive bullets. So, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise up against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.